Hello students, today we are going to learn chapter number 7, that is LibreOffice Calc, or we can also call it Calc. LibreOffice Calc is a powerful open source spreadsheet program. Open source means which is open to all. Anybody can use it. And this program allows you to organize your data, complete your calculations, and even you can represent your data in the form of graphs. In Calc, you can organize your data into rows and columns, and these rows and columns are collectively called a worksheet. Children's spreadsheet is a file. It is like a notebook, you can say, and its individual page is called its worksheet. On each worksheet, data is organized vertically in columns and horizontally in row. We have 1024 columns and 1048576 rows in a worksheet. Children, Calc can hold up to 32,000 sheets. The intersection of column and row is called a cell. You can say cell is the basic unit of worksheet. You can enter data into the cell, and to know the cell address you can see the column name and the number of the row, that is called cell address. Now let's understand the LibreOffice Calc window. The Calc window displays many components, or you can say the parts that you can use to create and work with your workbook. Like we have menu bar, toolbar, formula bar, active cell, sidebar, status bar, title bar. So these are the components of Calc window. Now let's enter data into the Calc screen. Children, you all know to enter the data into any of the program, we just need to type it. So you can enter data in the form of numbers or text. The simple method is to click in the cell and begin typing. Once you press enter and click on the different cell, the data is entered into the cell. Click on the cell where you want to enter the data. Then data you type appears in the active cell and even in the formula bar you can see press enter. To enter the data and move one cell in any direction, you can also use arrow keys from the keyboard. Until you finish entering your data, you can repeat all these steps. Now let's save your workbook. You can save your workbook to reuse it in your future or to share it with others. By default, Calc workbooks are saved in the open file format, which uses .ods file extension. Now click on the file menu if you want to save. Click on save. The save dialog box appears. You can see, click on these places to navigate to the folder in which you want to save your file. Now click in the name text box and type the name for the file. To save the file in another format, like in MS Excel, you can select the format also. Click on the down arrow of the all formats. Click on save. The Calc saves the file and the new file name appears on the title bar. Now let's select the cell. Let's learn how to select the cells. You have to select the cells in Calc to perform editing, calculations and formatting. The easiest way to select the cell or to make it active is to move the mouse pointer to the cell and then click on it. You can also select a cell in a worksheet using the arrow keys on the keyboard. An arrow key selects the cell adjacent, means next to the active cell, in the direction of the arrow on the key. The selected cell has dark border around it and that cell is called active cell. Even it is also having a reference, and that reference you can see in formula bar or in the name box. Now to select a cell, click on the cell you want to select. The cell becomes the active cell and displays a dark border around it. You can see on the screen. Click on the number of the row you want to select. If you want to select a row, to select multiple rows, place your mouse pointer over the number of the first row you want to select. Then drag the mouse pointer. See, until you highlight all the rows you want to select. To select a column, click on the letter of the column you want to select. See, it is selected now. To select multiple columns, position the mouse pointer over the letter of the first column you want to select. Then drag the mouse pointer until you highlight all the columns you want to select. If you want to select a group of cells, place your mouse pointer over the first cell you want to select. Then drag the mouse until you highlight all the cells you want to select. To select multiple group of cells, what you have to do, you have to use Control key and repeat all the steps, means just drag your mouse to these cells you want to select. Now let's enter data in the worksheet. In a spreadsheet program like Calc, editing means the process of making changes to make data or cell in the worksheet. You can edit the data in your worksheet to correct a mistake or to update the data. For example, you might want to change the number values you entered to add. Double click on the cell containing the data you want to edit first. You can see the insertion point that is flashing. Now press arrow keys to move the insertion point from where you want to remove or add characters. To remove the character to the left of the flashing insertion point, press the backspace key. To add the data where the insertion point flashes on the screen, type the data. When you finish making changes to the data, press the enter key. Now let's delete data. You can delete Calc data you no longer need. You can delete the data from a single cell or from several cells, means from any cell. Select the cells containing the data you want to delete. Now press delete key. The data in the cells that you have selected disappears. To deselect cells, click in any of the cell. Now let's undo our changes. Calc remembers always the last changes that you have made. If you do not want these changes, you just can cancel them by using undo feature. For this, click on undo button. This is undo button on the worksheet. Calc cancels the last changes you have made to the worksheet. Even you can repeat these steps if you want to see the previous changes. And if you want to reverse your undo feature, then you can use redo button. This is how you can enter data and how you can delete data from your Calc worksheet.